Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome. So I'm here eating some frozen quark. Or actually just I think it's more or less like yogurt. Or curd. I guess it's like curd. But anyway, guys, I saw recently where a lot of people were thinking, like a whole lot of content creators were thinking about some of their thoughts about what I think could be changed in Vanguard, or having the viewers help them to gather ideas or whatever. But why not do something that our other content creators already done before, by the name of Farfa, is get some hot takes. Hear about what the players think about the last decade of Vanguard in general, maybe what got them into it. Some of them probably started more recently, some of them started more later, but a really kind of cool idea and perspective of players who have been playing this game as long as they've done. And hopefully you guys like it. Who knows, we might do some cool stuff like this in the future, especially with 2.0 coming down the pipeline literally tomorrow, my time, at least tomorrow morning, around like 3 or 4 in the morning. It'd be really cool to hear what they think. All right, cool. So first up, we got Core. If he's willing to unmute.
That'd be my cue.
Hey, Core, what's up?
How do you do, JJ?
Not bad, man, not bad. Just chilling today. Hopefully, I get some takes from you guys, interesting thoughts, interesting ideas, and see what you think about Vanguard.
Well,
So what you got for me, Core?
give me a leading question. Give me something to work with.
Oh, okay. So what is something that you've liked about Vanguard so far?
Well, the thing which drew me to the game in the first place is definitely the art, and the art has improved throughout the game as it's aged. So, like fine wine, the artists have improved along with the game. So that's probably its biggest strength, as well as its simplicity in accessibility as a game.
Okay. And like, did you think that you'd figure out a way to stay play? Like, what made you even want to stay playing it? Was it only due to the art or due to the mechanics as well?
Really early on, it was the community. It was definitely the community early on, and the people that were playing the game at the time.
Okay. Is the community still there for you, or do you feel that's been a bit out of touch?
We'll get back to that because something happened which caused a bit of a problem with the community, and I think you know what's going to be mentioned.
Yes. Fair enough. So what's your hot take? What's something you probably would like to see change in Vanguard going in the future for 2.0?
Hot take?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm not one for hot takes.
I mean, just
I'll
let it roll out.
I'll do an icy cold take, however.
Oh, okay. Okay, what you got?
So, what would I say is the biggest issue with Vanguard? Because that's probably the best place to start with that one. I would say gifts inherently are a problem. The creation of a permanent power scale throughout the game is always a nice thing in theory, but I have very rarely seen it executed well in practice, and gifts is another symptom of that.
So you would like to see the removal of gifts?
On the whole, I think the game would be better off with the gifts snipped out.
Okay. Is there anything else you would probably like to see changed then?
Give us a proper digital platform and slow down releases. I'd happily take more clans per set if it meant slower releases of the set. Bigger sets less often.
Okay. Anything else?
Those would be the main things.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you, Core. Thank you for taking out your time to give us a little bit some of your ideas. If you do feel like there's anything else you probably want to say now, you can go ahead and say it. Any small little advice you want to give to the other players who are probably considering Vanguard? What you would sell Vanguard? What?
That is one other thing.
What up?
Stop printing mechanically unique promos and then not giving them to us. to bip that one out. Sorry.
Okay, okay. No, 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 no. It's fine. It's fine. I like angry core. I like I like angry core. That's nice. All right. Thank you, Core. Thank you for taking out your time. Let's see. So we got next up Dull Mystery. Recently joining our community, but he's also been doing a little content creation as well. I think he streams a little bit. No, I don't think he streams, but I know he makes YouTube videos for sure. Hey, Dull Mystery. It is your turn. Del? Oh, I think I have you turned all the way down. In a second. Let me fix that.
Oh, sad.
Okay, I got you. I got you.
Uh, Thank
Go.
you for answering my question because I'm actually using my laptop right now.
Uh huh.
So, and I don't have my microphone, so I don't know. I don't know the voice that you are hearing right now. If it's loud or if it's soft or anything in between.
Oh no, I
So,
turned you up. I turned you up. It's okay.
oh, thank you, thank you.
So, what is your? How did you get into Vanguard? Now, what made you stay with Vanguard and got you into it?
So first is what when I got into Vanguard, I am actually when in during my elementary school, I always watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, and I became a fan. And I want to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal in YouTube, and I watched the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal Abridged.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my recommendation, I saw Cardfight Vanguard, so I got intrigued, and I watched it, and I fell in love. And when it was Legion era, um, I think I think we still haven't had English Legion yet, and I think it's Legion era in Japan and Limit Break and Break Red era still
Mm-hmm.
in the other places in the world. So me and my brother, we are both fans of Vanguard. At that time, I bought the Garmor starter deck, and while he bought the Blaster Blade starter deck, the original one, and I bought the Great Silver Fan Garmor, which is the Limit Break one. So we just played some games with each other, and then over the period of time we kind of fall off because it is just getting too boring, and just because my brother is just getting pissed that I have limit break and he does not. It is he bought the blaster blade and not the Narukami one, which is obviously the counter. So yeah, and over time I just kind of lost touch, and then I think it's 2018 or 2019 where I think I'm still subscribed to Cardfight Vanguard YouTube channel, so I still keep getting notifications of of Cardfight Vanguard reboot and the Cinnamon art, and I didn't even bother to take a look at them. And when it's like, and then 2017 and 2018, I 2018 2019, I'm sorry, I just a kind of tick has happened in my brain, and that just like wanted I just want to watch G, and then it kind of trickle it down. And then I watched the reboot, and then I watched Cinnamon, and 2020 is for Zero, and I fall madly in love with Cardfight Vanguard again, and then I bought the the trial deck, and I play with multiple games, and I well, and the rest is history. So
Okay,
that's how
fair enough.
I got
So that
into
that
Vanguard.
history of you climbing into Vanguard, staying with it, losing touch, getting back into it, I feel that is something that happens to a whole lot of players who, find a new card game that you really love and really get into. And it's really nice that you kind of like really floated around it, even though you had other card games to kind of like play or get into and stuff like that. But Vanguard was
Oh,
still
I
something you
actually
came
got
back to.
into Yu-Gi-Oh in
Hmm.
a period of time, and then I have during the time period where I very like card games. I always like card games as a collector's item.
Hmm.
So I kind of flip around with Yu-Gi-Oh, Cardfight Vanguard, and I think I have some Pokemon cards. So I kind of flip around, and I do not see them as a thing to play, but instead a thing to collect. So
Mm.
That's why I always flip around between card games. However, Cardfight Vanguard is the only card game I am playing right now because it does not want me to collect. It my feeling is I do not want to collect the game, but I want to play the game. So that's why I stayed along with Cardfight Vanguard, and I only watch Yu-Gi-Oh as an anime and Pokemon as a game and an anime also. So that's why I kind of stick with Vanguard because it is no longer a collectible for me, but it's also like a game for me to play with other people and to connect.
Ah, okay. So the aspect of community, you slapping cards with, slapping cards against somebody else, seeing who has the better outcome of the turns, trying to get your perfect end game fantasy sort of thing, does have
Yes,
some
yes,
appeal
yes.
to it. So
And
what's your hot take?
also
What's your hot take on Van? What do you think
on
now
Vanguard.
with 2.0
Um,
coming out? What's something you want them to add? Something you would love to see?
I think because when you put a two on a existing IP,
Mm-hmm.
you always thought of it as a sequel. So where you build upon the original product. So I think a major revision of Cardfight Vanguard from the past to Vanguard 2.0. So I want a brand new anime with a very inclusive and very diverse cast. Not with just like Jamie Alcatraz and Guyard and Neve. However, like add put have a girl protagonist and probably some Caucasian, probably some European, some black, some not Japanese. Like I want a very inclusive cast, uh, and then probably a revision in the advertisement, the tournament structure, and most importantly, the game. I want a brand new mechanic, not just like the Astral Force, but like markers and strides. I want a very brand new mechanic that will probably not not be a brand new format. However, just it builds upon standard. It can be put into premium, and that's what I kind of want. A brand new mechanic that will not be formed into a new format. However, it will be just built upon markers slash strides, and I think um, I what I think of overdress is probably like equip magic cards from Yu-Gi-Oh. You know that JJ, am I
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, like equip spells and
Where
stuff.
you
Yeah.
like where you like we have orders now, right?
Mm-hmm.
We we can use orders as like equip magic cards, so we can have, let's say we can have this unit have a skill, we can have this unit plus power,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
just like that. So I think Cardfight Banger, instead of being its own essence, it will probably move side to Yu-Gi-Oh. However, it will bring more flavor. Excuse me, bring more flavor to Vanguard than it is right now.
Mm, that's hot. Okay, okay. That's some
Hmm.
hot sauce takes there. That's interesting, man. It's cool little future stuff.
I mean, what's the use for order instead of like another card with another skill?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. 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 I mean, let's hope to see that Bushi does something like this. So thank you,
yeah.
Del. Is there like any last little words or tidbits or thing that you probably wanted to say extra?
Um, subscribe to JJ Mr. Rogers at YouTube and follow JJ Mr. Rogers at Twitch and Twitter. And don't forget to use your Twitch Prime on JJ Mr. Rogers. I'm not forcing you to use your Twitch Prime at JJ Stream. However, if you want to, if you like his content, and then you have a Twitch Prime, then maybe you can, support this man out.
Oh,
So that's about it.
okay. Hey.
hey,
Hey.
hey.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Not
You're
not not a
welcome. You're
paid
welcome.
actor, by the way. Not a paid actor. Thank you so much,
So
Del.
I'm a dip. So thank you, JJ.
Hey, thank you, Del. Have a good one, buddy.
Have a good one also.
Now we got ourselves Danny. Dojin Danny. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Mr. JJ. How are you doing this fine day?
Not bad, son. Not bad. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Uh,
I hear you want to discuss about the topics of Vanguard.
yes. I want to hear your takes about it. Like what got you into it, what makes you keep on playing it, and like what some things you probably want to change in the future going into 2.0. Let's take a
Well,
look
let's
at 10 years of Vanguard.
10 years of Vanguard.
Danny
Well,
style.
I originally introduced myself to Vanguard with BT-08, Blue Storm Armada, because
Ooh.
it had the beautiful Great Diusha plastered on the cover. I had not seen this show, I had
Mm-hmm.
not heard about it, I just saw that it had a nice robot on it, and I figured, man, Vanguard seems interesting. But I did not pick it up at the time because sadly, I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For over 10 years. I have a bit of card game experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, Vanguard, maybe not right now. But when G era came around,
Mm-hmm.
I saw
Mm-hmm.
the Generation Strides. I saw Gear Chronicle. I saw Lambros when he very first came out, and I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And as the years went by, it was fantastic. I had my locals, my mates, but sadly, it felt like a sinking ship at one point.
Oof.
Uh, during, of course, Geese format,
Ah.
Chaos format,
Yeah.
Time Leap format, there were
Yeah.
definitely some bumps in the road where you're like, is this the end? When
Mm-hmm.
the Xeroth Dragons got announced, that's the feeling I received. I thought, this is the end of Vanguard. So when the reboot actually happened, I was quite pleasantly surprised. I know a lot of people thought, nope, I'm not playing Vanguard again. But I decided to stick with it. And it was a pleasant surprise. I thought Standard was actually quite nice. What actually blew my mind the most is when we got to the Shinimon arc,
Mm-hmm.
and we started getting unique mechanics. Very similar to keywords, but not quite.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that just felt like a fresh take. It felt, this is unique. There's no other deck like Valkyrion. There's no other deck like the Cradle Markers. There's no other deck like the Seven Seas Booty. It added that cool little niche where it didn't really change much. The shield values were definitely nice as well. Of course, that was something to get used to.
Mm-hmm.
And rest in peace, Stand Trigger. You will be forgotten and missed.
I mean, you could play it now in premium though. Come on.
Oh, you can play it in premium, that is true.
Hey, hey.
But now that we're here, now
Mm-hmm.
that we're at Overcross, and the reason I brought up the 10 years real quick is because in Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it, the Yu-Gi-Oh community has a habit of, oh no, Synchro Monsters, this is the end of Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh no, Xyz Monsters, that's it, I'm quitting the game.
Uh-huh.
Pendulums, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna burn my deck.
Yeah, yeah. The doomsayers, the people who rather burn a format down before they actually have to play it. Fair. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That is
And
special
I,
special cases, unfortunately.
so maybe that's also why I didn't fear the reboot,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that's why I'm not fearing Overdress.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to better and greater things. I hope that we actually get some sort of digital game. They
Mm-hmm.
did try with the Nintendo Switch one, which was good, but sadly, just like other Yu-Gi-Oh games, it got outdated very quickly.
Especially since it didn't have like a server update or anything, and plus it was
Yep,
JP only, so you would need to have a
exactly.
an account on JP server to even be able to get it.
Precisely. And now, with Overdress,
Mm-hmm.
with this very small images we've seen of the potential female protagonist and her mystical egg,
Yes.
uh, it seems promising. Now, do I expect a new mechanic? Probably. There's no way they'll probably keep it the same. They
Mm-hmm.
always has to spice things up. Power creep is always going to sadly be an issue no matter what card game you are.
That is true.
Because through the years, I find players feel if my cards don't feel powerful, my plays don't feel powerful, am I really, having a good time? Is this a fun deck?
Mm-hmm.
Are my plays impactful? Do I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I'm changing the game in any way? Do I have control over the game?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, overall, I hope the new season goes well. We'll find out in a couple of hours or in half a day or so.
Yeah.
Hope it all goes well. So yeah, that's essentially my hot take. I will stay on this sinking ship, especially with Buddy Fight. Seeing Buddy Fight go down was a bit of hope actually, because it's kind of like, well, Bushi just sadly lost a ship, which means Vanguard's the sole flagship besides Weiss.
Okay, so before viewers actually torch my channel here real quick, he's not saying that, thank God Buddy Fight is dead. Yuck. Imagine playing Buddy Fight. He's more in the sense that, like, it's unfortunate it's gone, but at least now Bushi can put a lot of time and investment into a game that has been doing predominantly well over the last decade. It's lasted a decade so far, so, the rest haven't.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah, because
might have come up a little wrong.
Because
yes, no, it means
because a lot of people would have been like,
but yes, no, it's definitely that. Are we stepping on a landmine, ticking time bomb, sinking ship? Who knows?
Yeah.
Many card games go and come, but hopefully we can stick around.
Exactly. And that's it. That's it. That's it. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. So thank you for having me, JJ. Once again,
it's always a pleasure having you.
JJ Rogers. Find him on twitch.tv/Mr. JJ Rogers or JJ Mr. Rogers. Sorry. Make sure you send him a sub. Make sure you just say pop in hi.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lovely bloke. And yeah. Ciao.
See you around, buddy. All right, now we got Simplified, who's currently a mod in my stream. Actually, he is a mod to my stream. He also might be looking into doing stuff with streaming on his own too as well, and it'll be really cool to have a bird's eye view on how he thinks about it, because he's been with me for close to about 10 months, 5 to 10 months now, 5 to 7 months or so. Like, it's been a while. How long has it been, Simplified?
10 months? Yeah,
10
roughly
months.
10 months.
Jesus Christ, and you're still here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, I enjoy being here. It's fun. It's a fun community. I enjoy it. Also community.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So what about you in Vanguard? You've been playing it for how long? Because you told me you played it around the starting age era, but I didn't know if you had any prehistory before that.
So I started when the in G era, correct? I started when the Pale Moon, the first Pale Moon trial that came out. I think it was Hari as well as the Grand Blue one. So Night Rose. And then back then, you had to buy 4 trial decks to get everything you wanted. So
yeah.
I mean, so I was a broke student back then. So yeah, so me and my brother, we basically just bought one of each,
Oh.
and then we played with it for about roughly 2 to 3 months. Yeah, just playing like the actual real trial deck, right? And then because I was broke, so I really couldn't afford anything, so I stopped playing it for a while. Till Vanguard Zero basically brought me back into the game recently. Yeah, so and recently, I've been doing much better in terms of financially. So I've been able to invest money and time into the game. So yeah, so that's basically my entire story with it. Yeah. It's short. I haven't been playing this game for 10 years like some other people here, but a relatively short time.
Yeah, I mean it's still like 2016, that's still something, right? That's still 5 years, 6 years. Yeah, 5 years exactly. Jesus Christ, it's been a while. It's still a while,
It's been old, makes me feel very old. Makes me feel very, very old. Just
all right. So what are some of the things that keeps you playing this game? I mean, now, as of late, since we've currently in a global situation, we can't really go outside to play that much anymore. But what has kept you playing the game?
For me personally, it will be premium format. I mean, okay, the premium versus standard, yeah, that shit is stupid. There's just no reason to fight. It's just, I enjoy this format, you can enjoy that format, it's whatever, right?
Yeah.
But personally, it's premium because, I mean, there are a lot more options. In my personal opinion, okay? In my personal opinion, there are a lot more options. There are a lot more things you can do. And my main critique of standard has always been I can't do anything on my opponent's turn except guard, which is, I mean, you could say the same thing about premium, but G Gardens involve that extra layer of interaction, in my opinion. So, like, I can interact with their board. In standard, it's I can't interact with their board on my turn, right? So it's basically a one-player game where I just sit and wait for my turn. They bash me, I sit and wait, and then next turn I sit, I bash them, and they sit and wait. So that's basically my main issue with standard. There's little to there's very little defensive options you can do. I guess they tried to sort of alleviate that with Gurgrit and his defensive options, which was really like a nice change of pace, but I think it's too little too late at that point. So especially since it was like the last main set of the V series.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That is scorching analysis of everything currently in standard right now. Scorching analysis. I got there. So like, what's some of the things you probably would like to see change in the future? Because you talked about defensive options. Are there any other things you'd want to add?
Okay. So if we go away from the card game itself, right? I mean, most of my issues lie with the company that is running the card game itself. Which I mean, you don't talk to their player base. They don't talk to their player base a lot. I mean, it's most evident, especially even in JP right now. You can see a lot of JP players are buying into premium, which says one thing: they are afraid. They are afraid of a standard rotation. They are afraid of what Bushido is going to do to the standard format. So most of them are buying into premium.
That's been wild to me.
Recently. Yeah.
That is so wild to me that everybody is just sort of like, yo, but what about these G's units though? It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like suddenly there's this like spike in interest in premium. I mean, the one thing that strikes out is like, oh, they have to wait, right? Because they don't know what Bushido is doing. Nobody knows what Bushido is doing. They don't tell anyone what they're doing, right? So everybody has this level of anxiety of like, oh, are they gonna break the game again? Are they gonna rotate the format? Will my cards that I've collected these past 3 years be suddenly worthless for someone that doesn't play premium? So I think a lot of the issues can be fixed if they were to just communicate with their player base, right? Because for such a big announcement, we have no information, literally zero information. What is happening, we don't know. What will happen to the format, we don't know. We don't know anything, right? The only thing we know is maybe we'll get a new enemy, most likely we will get a new enemy and a new mechanic, and that's about it, right? Which is why I think like the like so-called the feel or like the mood of the entire Vanguard community is anxious excitement or anxious pessimistic, right? Because we don't know anything. That's my main issue with Vanguard as a whole. Okay, if we take away from the card game, sure, the card game itself inherently has some issues, but if we were to look at the company behind it, I think if Bushido were to talk more to the community, explain some of their decisions, interact more with the community, it'll be a lot more fun and interesting for everyone in the community. I mean, you can see this with the the person who runs the English Vanguard Twitter page suddenly becoming all active and everything, and everyone was like, wait, what's happening,
Yeah, for the last 10 years, it's basically like the 400 years of distance. It's like, God has not spoken to us in 400 years. He now speaks. It's shocks everyone.
It's like, wait, what's happening? Wait, this is the right, something's wrong here, right? Something must be up. So, I mean, it's weird, right? So that's my main issue, just to talk to your player base. That's basically it, right? If we were to like move away from the entire like card game itself, based on the company, they need to talk to their player base more often. I think talk to the community more often, and that's about it.
All right, okay. That's it. Communication and talking to it. Any last little tidbits? Anything that you want to go before you head out?
No, not really. I mean, the usual. Sub to JJ, go to his Twitch channel, give him a follow. Sub to his YouTube, right?
Yes.
I will DM you my PayPal information later. So I expect some sort of monetary.
I have no idea what he's talking about. I don't know. Shut up.
Freudian sleep there, my bad. Okay, I thought I was muted. Oops.
All right, Simple. Thank you for stopping by, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good day. See ya.
See ya. It's stupid. That was funny. That was funny. That was a good one. That was a good one. Is my PC broke or is it very quiet? It's just quiet. I currently have it quiet. So that you can hear the people who come into our Discord to talk about Vanguard. So now we got ourselves Sushi Slayer. Slaying some sushi. Ooh. Had to do it to him? Yeah. Yeah, sure, Echo. We can do that, yeah. Riven, bro.
Summoned by JJ to talk about Vanguard. So.
Yeah, man. We gotta talk about a company. We could talk about a community. What you got for us? How did you get into Vanguard and what kept you there?
Oh boy, going back to the good old days. So
back in my day.
So during elementary school, after school, which is around. So for my school, I had from like I think when I was 7 to 8, I had afternoon class. So like in my elementary school, we have this thing called afternoon class and morning class. So for the afternoon class, it starts at 1 all the way to 6, and then for elementary school, it starts very early in the morning. To be fair, our class Monday starts at 7:15 a.m. and our Tuesday towards Friday, it was around 7:30 to 7:45. I mean, that's when we start classes all the way until like 12 or 1 like maximum. So usually after that, in the afternoon, there's like this driver that comes to fetch us out, and then we just goes. And since my mom and my parents decided to sign me up to a daycare center because both of them had a busy job, so they didn't have to take care of me. They didn't have the time to take care of me. So I needed something to like keep me, not just looking at books, right? The typical Asian stuff.
Yeah.
So I was. It was after school. I was walking to the canteen during like Saturday, because Saturday we have like curriculum activities, right? And then I saw Vanguard.
Okay.
It was it was around. I think it was like Maelstrom. It was like Maelstrom, the Vermilion, that era, and I was like, what's that? And then soon after that, I think it's like a month or 2 months later, I saw Vanguard being played in my daycare.
On TV.
It was like beginning a break ride.
On TV.
So, no, not on TV. It was like in my daycare. Like amongst with my seniors.
Oh.
So like, they were playing Vanguard, and then I think it's one of my friends are playing like Grand Blue, which is like I think this was Grand Blue before. It's like Kokaida's Grand Blue, not reverse Kokaida's, but like just OG Kokaida. And then he was playing against like I don't know, some weird Kagero deck, and then I was like, wow, this game. And I was like, because I was only ever I watched Yu-Gi-Oh, but I never got into Yu-Gi-Oh as well. But I saw Vanguard, and I was like, this is a cool game. I didn't really like at first. I joined the game just because I really needed some way to like. It was something that's very heartwarming to like interact with. Have something in common that you can use to interact with my daycare friends, right? And so I started at when I was 10 years old. So right now I'm 18, so that's like 8 years ago.
Jesus.
And I remember my very first trial. I got really into the anime, and so when my friend asked me what trial deck do I want, because I think by then it's already at the beginning of Break, right? Like the 2 sets. It was like the set where Dauntless Drive came out. And then my friend, I insisted on my friend. I was like, I want the Aichi deck. And I was like, are you sure? Like, there's the Liberator deck and the Bowing Sword deck. I was like, no, I want the Aichi Blaster deck. I was like, give me the Aichi Blaster deck. And I was like,
give me it now.
I was like, okay. I was like, sure, cool. So then I think we both played. So I had my Blaster deck. And then he had his. I think it was same as I think it was same as Dell. He had like a instead of my friend having armor, he had like the Narukami one. I forgot what's it called. What's the boss? Thunderbreak Dragon. Yeah, Thunderbreak Dragon.
Jesus Christ.
So like
yeah.
we played that, and then I didn't play much of my deck honestly. I got most of my enjoyment by watching people play, because my seniors often would like have the time and like cash to like sell their decks and then buy new ones. So like, it's always like something. It's always a thing with just selling your stuff and buying and getting. So that's how he maintained his like budget, right?
Yeah.
On like not spending too much on the game, not just getting new decks, but just getting rid of the old ones, right? So I remember I was bordering. I remember I decided to play the game again, because the whole time I was just watching. It was in Legion era. Yeah, it was Legion. Uh, my friend had this dark irregular. It was dark irregular. What's it called? It was Dantarian Legion with Amon.
Jesus, that was a while
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Break
it was
right
like it was running
Dantarian.
12. It was running like 8 stands for it was like 12 stand for heal or something. It was something like that, because, and it was like together with his all weird cards. And then I looked at the art, and I chose Dark Regulars just because, funny enough, the very first anime that I ever completed, not in watch but completed, was this very cultured show called High School DD.
Ah, the culture.
Yeah, it was the very first. It was. It's funny for me to explain to my friends because they don't believe me that that's the first anime that I completed, like actually completed, like all 3 seasons at once. It was in 2015. I borrowed his again. So I borrowed his DI deck, and I was like, wow, this filled with all those kind of demons. It feels with all those vampires and all this kind of stuff. And then it's cool, right? So I kept playing it. Even though it sucked against like Phantom of Thing Saber.
Yeah, or Revengers, or a Lord of
but
Abyss.
In those games where like I ripped, like if he was like 5 damage and then I ripped that double stand, stand my 50k Doreens, it's like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So then like I it was then where I continued, and then after that I played the deck with a bit for a while, and then I gave it back to him. It was around GBT02, which is Lambros, where it came out. I saw Lambros and I'm like, this is the coolest art I ever seen. Look at his blades, dude. It's like literally water, like washing away off his blades, but the blade is still like water. So like the water on his blades like solid, but then there's like water washing off the blade. And I was like, what is this? And I was like, this is the coolest thing I ever seen. It was then where when I moved to high school, when I moved to high school, I didn't have anyone to uh, associate with Vanguard. So then I took a hiatus on Vanguard, right? Until late. It was late. I forgot. Was it? It was late. Oh, when was it? 2017. Yeah, it was late 2017. I got. It was late 2017. I saw like again. I saw the same thing at my elementary school, which was 2 players playing Vanguard again, and then I saw like Messiah versus like what was it? It was like Blade Master, right?
Yeah.
So that it was Messiah versus Blade Master, and then I immediately I was like, oh yeah, I was like, wait, there's people playing Vanguard at my school. I was like, what's this? And then I immediately joined back, and then it was the time I rejoined during GBT 11, and I was like, I want the Dark Irregular deck, and then I went on Facebook, and I just got like a share.
Yeah.
I got like a share, and then that's how I got back into Vanguard, and then I saw, and then my list was just I remember it was Hongwai's list, right? It was Hongwai's WGP list, his second place list. It was like, but I couldn't find a Steel Vampire. But I couldn't find his spicy Steel Vampire in the deck. So I was like, well, I have to play with this common grade 3, and I didn't have get what was it Glen's Vampire, the one where Caramel's one you check top 5 and then you put any amount of darkness into a soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't. I had that. Yeah, and since then I've been always competitive in Vanguard. So since GBT 11, where I started really getting into Vanguard, and then later on in. But then as like our academics starting to get a little more serious, we our school as a community started to fade, but there's still one of these three. I think 2 to 3 people who really stuck with Vanguard, even though even though there's like with academics being very tough on them. So yeah, that's how my story of Vanguard, story of my journey on Vanguard, basically.
Okay, that's good. I mean, like, so you ended up sticking along with it. So what are some of the hot takes that you probably have currently for 2.0?
For 2.0, what I want is no retrains, please, for the love of God. I want I want them to expand more on orders and not just left them behind as like a unfinished project, so that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So then I want them to again expand more on orders, and then I'm excited for the new anime. Excited for the new protagonist. It's apparently it's female. I didn't know it. I'm pretty sure in the trailer it wasn't confirmed that it's female.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it is. I don't know. But it's a Tachi player. So I'm like, hell yeah! It's my
If it's a Tachi player,
I was like, my favorite Dragon Empire clan. Let's go.
Okay, all right. That sounds like a cool one. So you're sick of retrains. Is there anything else you're kind of sick of as well, or things you would like to have changed?
Gifts.
What do you want to happen to gifts?
Cool and all, but like, as I kept playing standard, I felt like how easy it is to like abuse markers, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it was very easy to, like, you don't need to do anything to markers, but like as cards comes out later on that does something super insane with markers, it gets a bit out of hand.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically about it.
Oh, okay. You just want them to kind of like not have too much synergies with markers these days. You just want them
it's
to
not
like
the fact that it's synergy, is that I don't want them to be so overtuned that it's like not like to the point where it's like no counterplay.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that there's some things that you can do to like hinder them, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So you really just like a little extra layer of counterplay in the game. So something like how they used to have GG guards back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair. I can respect it. Hopefully, if with 2.0, who knows, we might get an extra mechanic that could work with blitz orders or something. I wouldn't know, but it'd be nice to have something as the extra layer of protection. Is there any extra little tidbit or extra small advice you probably want to give some players or just talk about?
I haven't thought about that yet.
I mean, you don't have to say anything either. You can choose not to say anything too.
I really don't have anything to say. I think I said what I need to. I said what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay. All right then, buddy. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by and giving us your peace of mind, giving us a little bit of your history about Vanguard, and thanks. All right. That was a vibe. Now we have... Oh god, there's also Echo. There's also Phaser in here. I got Typo. I'll do Typo King first. Then we'll do Echo. Then we'll do Phaser, and then Kaiju. Yeah, we'll do those. All right. Now we got up Typo King. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. How you doing, fam?
Pretty okay. I mean, I got the one remote fight off.
Hey, I mean, the deck does look pretty. They did look pretty cool. Like you did have some. Like you're getting just recently got into premium. I think it was like your second match you probably had so far in premium, and I think you did pretty okay.
Yeah,
and I think you did pretty okay.
Yeah, but it was like I got the only remote fight in, and now we have this section. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll go back to remote fights after, so don't forget, if you guys are also interested in playing some remote fights with us, it's basically pointing your camera at your playmat and you're playing against people from around the world. It's very fun to do. It doesn't have the same experience or same feel as the TCG IRL, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's a good way to still interact with other people. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, this is the only form of actual Vanguard I've played since I got back into the game. So
yeah. Which is not bad.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah, the first thing in 10 years, if they're gonna do overdress, I'm gonna burn my deck. No.
So what's your history with Vanguard? Okay.
Vanguard. Yeah, that's a long time ago, actually.
Let us hear the Odyssey.
I believe I started with Vanguard, not in the first two sets, but let me rewind a little bit, because how the sets came out in Europe was a little bit weird, because we got set 1, 2, and 3, and they decided to let us catch up with the OCG and brought out Limit Break set before they brought out set 4 and 5. So true. I started around just before they introduced the Limit Break set. So I started around set 3, just casually picking up some cards, and then I bought my first booster box of the extra booster box 6 and set 6 because they were all gold paladin. Got the Spectral Duke Dragon deck, and since then, yeah, built a lot of other decks. So, yeah, it was a weird beginning because we had some different mechanics than we were supposed to have. But it was a fun and interesting game to play alongside Yu-Gi-Oh back then. And yeah, I don't know what it is, but Vanguard has something. I don't know where to put my finger on, but I played many card games. I think at least 10 different actual TCG, and then some online games. And the Vanguard is oddly enough the single game that that gets me, how do you say this? Draws me back into the game after quitted card games for 5 years.
What do you think it is? What do you think what it could be?
I don't know what it is, man. But I'm hoping that the same thing that I cannot explain is in there with Overdress. Because I mean, I played Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm not feeling to ever come back to Yu-Gi-Oh. Not hating the game, but I'm not feeling that I ever should come back to it. I don't feel the game that much anymore. Then Magic, it was always an on and off game for me, same as Pokemon TCG. Well, TCG isn't even a thing anymore. It's now Hearthstone. So yeah.
Yeah.
Body Fight, same thing. It's not really a game anymore. Or it is. I'm not sure.
It's still like it's an eternal format game now. It's basically the card came out for it, and that's all we got.
Okay, I quit it a little bit, a few years before it went sideways. Vanguard, yeah, was the only one that brought me back. And Overdress, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird mixed feelings thing for me.
What would it be? What's the mixed feeling do you think you have?
It's more like I find it interesting. There are new mechanics coming, of course, and it's a new series. But I'm also a little bit afraid of what it will do with the old mechanics, because there's, of course, two things. There's an option to rotate, of course. This is all speculation, of course. And the second thing is they will make a new mechanic that's so necessary that you have to play the new cards. Like when they brought in Legion, when they brought in Stride, you had to play the cards, or else your deck wasn't relevant anymore. Yeah. Not 100% true, but so I'm a little bit of in between if what's better and what's actually gonna happen. Because I mean, I started this game after 5 years of quitting. Then I bought a few cards, and then they're actually hitting me in the face, saying like, "Hey, you know what? After a year of playing, your cards that you bought after joining the game again are useless."
That is basically what's making people nervous. But I mean, at least you've been learning a bit of premium. I mean, you could still kind of keep on playing that if it does end up, turning it into a whole new master rule sort of game, or sort of new mechanics sort of stuff.
So I'm not really afraid, but I'm a bit confused and not sure about what to think of it. I mean, I don't even know what's better, the rotation or the new mechanic that you have to play, because it's both. It both has their ups and downs. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I'm still excited about the new series, of course.
Now, talking about the new series and talking about the new game and stuff, because we were kind of like talking about it a tiny bit here. What is your hot take? What is something you would like to see introduced? What do you want change?
Yeah, definitely. I would like to see a new mechanic because I always, it's hard to say, like, hard to actually say this because I'm not actually a premium player. But when I was playing back in early G,
Yeah.
I like that you had many different options to just build your deck. And it's really the opposite of what I'm doing these days because I'm playing standard and I like standard because I know how I feel like how it's okay how it is. But still, for a new series to bring new mechanics, I like the idea to bring something new into the game. It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit how do you say this? It's a little bit of conflict in me too as well. Because I'm not the biggest fan of premium, but I'm also not opposing new things. So it's a little bit
I mean, spoken today, you have played your second match of it, as we
Yes,
said
true.
before, and you're trying to give it a shot.
Yes, definitely.
You're
But I
trying
think
to.
the most thing about it is like the deck feels more comfortable in standard for me than
Yeah.
in premium. I think that's the biggest part.
Yeah, of course. Because I guess with premiums, you need to kind of have, you need to more or less remember all 50 cards you're playing.
But that's not the biggest deal. But I mean, I had a time skip of 5 years, and I don't know most of the cards that are played in premium.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know all the cards in standard right now.
Yeah, true. Is there anything else you would probably like to see change or added?
Yeah,
or taken
maybe
away?
some ruling changes.
Oh,
Eiko
like
had
what?
an idea, but no, I'm not gonna talk about his idea, but I have my own take about it. It's like maybe change the hard right gift obtainability once per turn. Because some deck can ride multiple turns, right, and gain force markers even before they gonna do some other stuff. Because obtaining markers with gifts, you always paying the cost for it, right? But with riding, it's just gaining a free marker.
Ah.
So if you can ride multiple times in one turn, you gain multiple free markers. And that feels a little bit strong.
Yeah, true.
Eiko also has a take on it, but it's something completely different. We actually had a discussion about this in table one. So that's why I'm saying I'm gonna keep it to my point. He also has a really interesting take.
Okay.
That's for later on.
Yeah, I think he's on next after you.
Maybe I think so because a bunch of people just joined the table, or
Yeah,
he's fighting. I'm not sure because he's on table 3 right now.
we'll steal him over, so it's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Also, I'm also curious. What is your take on overdress, and what do you feel that could be changed, or actually something that needs to be here in the game for a longer while?
I will answer that question if I'm reminded of it. Hopefully, after we do the whole interview thing.
Okay. Also, I think I thought I brought this up a few days ago. Side deck.
Side deck.
A side deck. That doesn't have to be much, but I mean, just the freedom of if you play best of 3, switch out your triggers, switch out some decks, maybe some counterplays, or even change up your win condition.
That does sound kind of spicy.
Because I mean, in Yu-Gi-Oh, and again Yu-Gi-Oh, it's been a successful system. Just after your first game, side some cards in, side some cards out. Of course, the same amount as you put in. That's a side deck thing, right? And then continue your second match. Like you can tech in your resist cards against cards that remove or block or whatever. You can put in your, I don't know, different triggers for some more offensive or defensive matches. That's something. Yeah, I actually forgot, but now remembered.
Well, I mean, at least now you got it. You got it. Now I don't have to like ask you like, do you have anything else you want to add or anything like that?
I mean, side deck, yeah, man. That feels like it's maybe a weird thing for Vanguard, but I feel like it could definitely help the tournament scene, especially if you go to esports or not.
Okay. Well, thank you, Typo. That actually did sound like a very cool idea. We did talk a little bit about that at length. I think in a couple of the streams from before. and it does sound like a really cool idea.
Hey man, can you imagine you playing against I don't even know what weird matchup you can think of right now, but
I think DI could be like a pretty weird matchup, I guess.
What's a horrible matchup for you when you play your favorite deck?
Whew. I think one of the worst matchups I could have is like playing against something with a bunch of protect markers, I guess.
Yeah, that's already okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can see maybe you can adapt your deck to those kind of matchups, right?
Yeah, maybe put in grade 2s or grade 3s with guard restricting them, or G-nets with guard restricting them with, or stuff like that. That makes
sense. Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. Of course, you can put in extra deck cards in the side deck.
Yu-Gi-Oh, bro, Yu-Gi-Oh. Used to do that too.
I quitted Vanguard for 5 years. Come on, I quitted Yu-Gi-Oh for 6 or 7 years, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I quitted around early Pendulum, I think. Not because of Pendulum. I mean, I like mechanics.
Yep.
And maybe some more clan specific mechanics. Not like saying name restricted, but clan specific.
So something, if one clan retires, that clan only retires, sort of thing.
No, yeah, maybe like they're doing now. Like one clan now gets cradle markers, one clan gets this, one clan gets that. Like more clan specific skill sets.
Fair.
And that's the last thing I can think of right now.
Okay. That sounds like fun. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. All right, Tapo King. I appreciate you giving me your insight into what things you probably would like to see changing in Vanguard, and I hope you have a good day. Maybe you probably play against some more players in the queue, because I think we're actually starting to get more people to come in, so you can probably challenge somebody in there.
Probably. Also, subscribe to JJ.
Oh, thank you, man.
No problem. See you, man.
See you around, buddy. So now we got ourselves Echo. Gonna steal him real quick. Bring him in here. Hello.
How you doing?
Yoink. I'm gonna yoink you real quick.
How you doing, man?
Echo, you good?
Sorry, I just tried pissing Phaser off and telling him that Alfredo sauce is the only thing imaginable. And he started screaming that Alfredo sauce is a scam.
Okay, it's a fucking scam.
But he's Italiano. If you like spitting in his face.
Nothing's more Italian than
Alfredo is not Italian. Alfredo is not fucking Italian, okay? He's not Italian.
No. I'm saying you're Italian. So like talking to you about food, and talking to things that are not Italian and trying to make it sound Italian is basically spitting in the face of their mother. So I don't know if you want to do something like that. That's not cool.
If my grandmother have a wheel, so she will be a bike, okay?
Yeah, exactly. So Feza, could you give us a second? I'm gonna talk to Echo about.
Yes, sorry, yes.
No worries,
man.
Man. Yeah, Echo, not bad. How you doing, brother? Welcome. So that was Phaser, our resident Blau player. Jesus Christ, I said that in Dutch. I'm sorry. A resident Blau player. Hearing other language sometimes make me switch over to Dutch accidentally. I don't know why.
So good.
How you doing? Welcome. Give me that sauce. What is some of your history that you have with Vanguard? What kept you playing? What got you back into it? All that good jazz.
Started playing when the game originally came out. Played up until Break Ride. Moved countries. Couldn't speak the language. Quit the game. Recently returned with 0. I think Typo already spilt my spice as to what I think should happen.
No, he actually didn't say much about it, so I don't know what you meant.
So, my argument is, in order to deal with gift spam, I think removing gifts isn't the way to go. I think the way to go is to apply to gifts the ruling of old strides, meaning you don't get gifts on. So skills trigger as normal. So if you play Astro Poets, your turn 1 DK can give you all the imaginary gifts you can dream of. But until you and your opponent are on grade 3, the gift on ride doesn't go off. You don't get gifts on ride until you're both on grade 3. So if I play premium and I superior ride Luard while you're still on grade 1, I can do all the Luard turns I want. I'm not getting any force markers until you're on grade 3. I think that's a fair way to change the focus of a card from the icon under its grade back to its skill. Like move it back to its skill box, and make it a bit more balanced that way.
So one of the biggest issues that I could see happen with that, though, as a caveat, not that I agree with you or disagree with you. So one of the arguments that could come to it is that I don't know if you remember Deleter or Seven Seas Rush. Do you remember any of those? Have you played against any of those?
I've played against Deleter's, Seven Seas Rush, not so much.
Okay, so the whole aspect of Seven Seas Rush was to never, ever in a million years ride to grade 3. Because it would kill you on grade 2. With its grade 2, and it would never be able to stride or need to stride because you could not stride either. And if you rode to grade 3, it'll stride on you and it will kill you. If it ever found any of its one grade 3. So you could have an issue that can happen where a deck that does not need a marker but can still put out a whole bunch of pressure won't need it.
But then I think that would encourage, if that's a strategy becomes too prominent, it also I think encourages design that doesn't necessarily rely around having the imaginary gift so much. It puts more of the focus back onto the card's actual skill as opposed to just the icon that it gets by birthright. Like it's not just born to be the center of the deck. Like it actually starts mattering again.
But then that's the thing about how gifts are at the moment. They are now, basically, look, I exist, I get a marker sort of thing. And you want to put it into a situation where it's like, well, I kind of need to play a very cheesy style of deck, or I need to now focus around a deck that doesn't really care about doing anything else except doing 6 damage to the opponent, which could make games not as interactive. So that's why maybe some people did think of it, but thought, well, we would have another Deleter or Seven Seas Rush scenario, and then none of the games would be that fun. Because
would you say gifts are interactive at the moment? Because they don't feel particularly interactive.
They're not particularly too interactive. I think there's like too much cards that synergize too well with it, because you can discard cards out of your hand, which synergizes a lot with Blitz Orders or with Protect Markers. There's cards now that force you to call cards out of your hand, but you can call an Order, Blitz Order, or Protect Marker. So there's like a whole bunch of pseudo cards now that inhibit, or not also pseudo cards, but cards that destroy themselves on their own mechanic because they're not units, they're orders now. So
but wouldn't oh sorry,
Go ahead, it's you.
No, I was gonna say, given the design space left open by orders, do you not think that orders could fill that gap? Like, have like an order that's something along the lines of like, consider your opponent's grade to be +1 or something like that, like during your turn. So there are workarounds, but you have to design your deck around it. So either your opponent that or like force your opponent to ride up in a sense, or have like burn damage or like attack reduction for if they don't ride up as like a continuous thing going on, but like basically use what you don't want to force them to do with markers, or sorry, with cards. You might want to like try and fill some of that design space in with like order cards, because at the moment they don't. We have a big rule book for something that doesn't exist for the most part.
Yeah.
That could be like a design space.
Yeah.
It's not really. But can I get your opinion on something? Because we were talking about it on the other chat at the moment. Because I was playing against Dave yesterday, and the idea got brought up. Have you ever tried playing Guy's Gear Chronicle?
He has, yeah. And
yeah, it's like you play it as normal, except you mystery flare them straight into Guy's pass turn and win the game.
Because you could mystery flare them to get an extra turn. Right,
and then you stride into Gears and just pass.
And pass.
Immediately pass.
Yep.
Take 6 damage.
Yep. It's funny. I don't know how.
Dude, I'm making it. It looks so fun.
Yeah, it is. It is a whole lot of fun. The only issue that you can have with is your shield values. Well, you have almost only just your shield value, and your triggers don't really do anything. That's the only issue that you kind of have. That's it.
But then at the moment, with like the way Time Leap functions, I feel like with the existence of Tempest Sphere, and the existence of the amount of force markers you can get without ever giving your opponent stride with that grade 3 from next stage, I think you could probably get away with just playing normal Time Leap.
Yeah.
Because you don't use that much of your G zone. Like on second stride, they're dead anyway. So like you still have the room for it, I feel, and you just change part of your stride zone, you change your starter, and that's it. Like you don't need to worry about anything else. Because when Melon goes for like 41k, I don't think it cares much about like the one trigger you're gonna get, because it's gonna go back in deck anyway. So if you're one that does like your history maker, maybe.
Okay.
But
so,
like,
not to derail off of the subject at hand.
So
though.
yeah, you're right.
Not to derail off of the subject at hand. What are some of your other hot takes that you did have about what a card design could mean for you in Overdress?
I think the thing I'm definitely hoping for is more cards designed along the lines of clan selection.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really liking the Guy Fieri led trip to Flavortown. I'm really liking that bit so far.
Because exactly. The cards are not too powerful, but they are flavorful. I think they're probably like very reminiscent of old Vanguard. Just very like, this is bad, but I probably would eat this again, sort of thing. You know?
Yeah, you know, it's got that Papa John feeling about it. Like, I this is going to make me shit for a week, but I'm still going to do it again. Like, it's got that Taco Bell vibe, you know? Like, I don't know, like, I've never had, like, in Standard as much of, like, a cycle as I did when they revealed, like, Ashley, for example, right? And in my head I was like, wait, so what you're telling me is that in Premium I can play Ashley, stride Crystal Luster on top of it. Cool. Counterblast 1, get crit.
Yes.
Swing with Crystal Luster.
Yes.
Swing with another grade 2 Jewel Knights. Call grade 1 Xenon from the deck. Check top card. It's Exculpate the Blaster. Superior-rated because they're both grade 4s. Counterblast 1, it also gets +1 crit. Swing at the entire opponent for 2 damage.
Just meme on your opponent the whole time. It's funny.
Dude, meme decks are like the shit I play this game for.
Okay. So that's the thing that you like the most about it.
I think is I much prefer the feeling of like laughing my ass off while playing a game as opposed to be like playing like a tier 0 deck and be like, I win, swing, I win, swing, I win. Like that doesn't excite me in the way that just seeing the like building a deck about absolute high roll and just seeing it pop off. Nothing makes me like enjoy myself quite that much. Like I'm just hoping for more like clan selection style where I'm like nothing or a couple cards are pretty good, but like other than like Shirayuki, I guess, like most decks aren't like that strong, but they're like a nice thing you can pepper into other decks. But I was curious about yourself as well, like because obviously I saw you were watching Solemn's video the other day. What do you feel about the way he suggested, rather future like rarities to be restricted as opposed to sets? Like so, like triple rares and up, for example, like VRs and up or something.
I personally don't really think they should really change too much about the formats at all at a given point in time. I think they should just leave everything be premium and just have harsher ban lists, personally. If you still want to have them both be, if you still want to have both of the formats exist, be standard and premium, do what you want, but then increase the ban list size, increase the ban rate of most cards, please ban more often, have at least like a large event period of like half a year to maybe 3 months or 4 months or so, and then have a ban list. Then that's kind of how they did.
Like introduce regular ban lists.
Yeah, just introduce regular ban lists. That's basically the only thing I have so far. I have some more stuff that I have some takes on too as well about the game too, and I could probably record like a second alternative video talking about that on my own. But that's as far as my brain can remember to go on.
Because do you know if there's potentially a fear in people getting into the game, or for people getting into the game, that if there are regular ban lists, you're going to end up with the Yu-Gi-Oh situation of you come up 5 years later and half your deck is banned, and you're like,
I mean,
okay, never mind, I guess.
It is for the longevity and health of a card game, though. So I mean, there are going to be compromises needed to be made. So I mean, it exists as well in a whole lot of other card games that have existed for almost close to 20 years. I mean, look at Magic; they exist for almost close to 20 years. They have like 3 or 4 different ban lists, and there's more than sometimes per each format, minimum of like 10 to 20 cards banned. So it is what it is.
That's fair. Because I guess the only thing is that I think for that to work is Bushiroad's going to have to get a little more transparent.
Yep.
Because like, when did we find out about Overdress? Like 6 months ago? Was it like in August or something?
Yeah,
it is now January 18th.
Yep, and we're finally going to get news about it. So it's been almost half a year of us almost pulling out a hair, people looking to get into premium, people not looking to get into premium, people trying to sell off their decks, selling their cards being currently on the bubble in the market, currently crashing. So it's just a whole bunch of yikes.
Have you actually seen in Japan, apparently there's been an uptick of people buying premium decks?
That is correct. I have
Which
seen
is,
a lot
very
more
interesting.
content creation being made for premium as well, too, on a lot of JP sites. And you know what I say to that? Noise.
Good. Nice.
That's
But
what I
bro,
say.
imagine if they fuse. You know what I think they should do to solve the problem? Fuse standard and premium into one format, bro.
True. You're right. Yes, exactly. I mean,
Bro,
it's
imagine
still.
if they made a format that's standard and premium, bro.
Oh my God!
What would you even
Imagine.
call that? What would you even call that, bro?
I think just premium, because that's
Just
exactly
call
what
it
it
Ultimate.
is.
Bro,
Because
don't tell them.
already.
They don't know, bro. They don't know. They don't know. Dude, I've spoken to people who still think G format is all that premium is. I'm sat like tearing my hairs out, going like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What? Chotto matte kudasai." Like, whoa, sir, you can play your standard cards in premium. It's fine, unless you play ZTB, in which case,
Good luck.
pain to you, I guess.
Good luck.
Like I've had people look at. I was playing yesterday. People tell me it's like, oh, so it's like they put like I need 20k shield, and I put 15k. And they're like, oh, sorry, I put 10k, and they're like, so one to pass, and I'm just there like, no, bro, I'm playing ZTB, fam. I need double the triggers. Double the triggers, half the fun. Let's go. Like, this is
I could
painful.
probably
I
get
don't
3
have to-
triggers. I still get 3 triggers and probably not pass.
Why couldn't they make next stage like a Zodiac time beast in standard? Like standard doesn't care. I care. Why doesn't premium care about me, JJ? Why doesn't premium love us? How can I make Papa Bushy proud? Papa Bushy went for SIGs and never came back.
I mean, we'll see. 2.0 is coming out. We'll see. So, what? Any other takes that you got for me then? What you got?
So this is more so to people who frequent Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gotta chill. Stop infighting. Both formats are fine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't shit on other formats just because you don't play them. It's fine. Let people do their thing. If people do Dumbo shit, let them do their thing. Like, be nice to other people. It's all good, guys. You're all playing the same game. If their format does better, that means you guys still have money for your product.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Because your cards are cheaper, so
yeah. If people buy more product, you can buy shit for cheaper. If people support formats you don't play, that means Bushiroad has more money to keep supporting the game. It's fine.
Yep,
it's fine, guys. Just show people some love every once in a while.
That is way nicer than I usually hear, Echo. So please take this. Take this, please. This is
if they don't,
this is a
their
W.
mother and like call their family some mean names. I don't know. Like,
This
either or. Make your choice.
This is
Choose
a
your
W.
fighter.
This is
Choose
a W
your
in my
player.
book. Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
Echo.
what are you hoping for, man?
As I told Typo King, and as I'll tell you too, I'll probably say it at the end of everything, so maybe people could clip it or whatever have you. I'll try to make it as concise as possible.
Hey, you're not going to be awake for the stream tonight, are you?
I don't know, man. I'm extremely tired.
If you are, jump on a call with us. We're doing a Fighters Collective with Top Deck Heroes and maybe a couple other people.
Okay, we'll see.
We're going to be streaming the thing.
I can't promise
Join us,
anything.
If you're there, join us.
Okay.
No worries. I'm going to clear the stage for the next person.
All right. Thank you.
No worries, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. I think. How much people did we have on? Like 5? We can have on. No. Yeah. I think this is enough. I think Echo was a good part to be as the last person. Woo! That was spicy. Okay, that was spicy. I think that was the last person. That was a lot of people we had on. I think I did 7 to 8. Yeah, I think that was good enough. We have about over an hour of footage. We have close to about an hour of footage. So I'd like to thank each and every last one of you awesome people tuning in and stopping on by. I don't know when this is going to be up to edit. I think I should probably start this as soon as possible and have this up as soon as possible too. My hot take now. My hot take, I promised. Yeah, I'll do that separately. I'll do that. Okay, I guess I can do that now. Okay, so my own hot take is as follows. There is. Yeah, I did promise. Okay. I'll do it now. So my own opinion about Cardfight Vanguard right now is that it has a lot of potential to be a very good esport as a TCG. Hearing that the new marketing producer or new producer who to be taking over the old producer's job has worked in esports as a foundation with MTGGP, and I'm excited about that. I think that's the most optimistic thing that has me right now with Vanguard, because at the moment I did not have a whole lot to look forward to, because it did seem very doom and gloom for me. Very, very doom and gloom. And so that made me very happy to hear that. That means that the game can have a whole bunch of life in it now, and that people can see all around the world the game that I love playing so much. Outside of that, more defensive options to make the games a bit more interactive and not a ruffle stomp. I would like to be able to guard against a 73k attack with 4 crits and no PGs. I'd like to guard against something like that, please. That seems fun for me to guard against. It seems okay. You know, being able to guard against something like that seems alright. You know, just defending myself in a card game seems alright. So more back and forth, more interaction, and more transparency. And more transparency. And a side deck. So, side deck, more transparency, more esports integration, content coverage, working with content creators. Those are the bare bones skeleton things for almost any card game to thrive in this day and age. Basically, please, Bushi, come from the 19th century. It's really cool in the 21st century. It's really awesome. Please, just come from the 19th. Just come on. Come on. It's nothing to be scared of. TVs exist now. You know, computers exist now. Just come on over. Come on over, baby. Come on. You know, just please. Just... Man, look into premium option for my deck is gonna cost you more. I mean, give me a second. Let me stop the recording. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for stopping by. I think I did say this before. But be awesome, stay awesome, have a wonderful day. And until next time. Bye-bye.